Hi, I'm Sandy. We're going to be using our yoga tune-up therapy balls today to address issues in our hands, wrists, and our forearms. Now, I took us out of the studio and into the office because this is where a lot of that repetitive movement happens with our hands and our wrists. And if we're not really ergonomically correct, we start to get some issues. Not only does this happen in the office, but if you're a tennis player, a hockey player, if you use rackets, if you're a massage therapist, whatever, if you're using your hands quite a bit, you're going to eventually start to feel it maybe in the forearms, the elbow, the wrist. We're going to take care of that today. So using our yoga tune-up balls, we're going to keep them in their handy-dandy tote. We're going to start out working on our triceps because in order to address the issues down below or distal, we're going to start above and work our way down. And as always with any like yoga or massage, it's very important to be present and to be conscious of what's going on in your body. So we're looking for comfortable discomfort or an effective sensation. So if you find that you're not breathing, we've gone a little bit too deep. So really listen to your body, find your breath, create your belly breath, right? As you inhale, the belly rises, and exhale, belly falls. I'm going to take the balls and start on the tricep just below or just above my elbow. And I'll stand up a bit to get a little leverage here as I roll up and down my triceps. Now the triceps have 3 heads to them, and I like using the 2 balls because I get more coverage of the area and get to work on the whole tricep at one time. If I want a little bit more, I can grab my arm and create some more pressure here and go all the way down to the scapula, to the attachment of the long head, which feels really good as well. And a little extra near the elbow, in case there's anything going on there with our tennis elbow or golfer's elbow. I'm going to take the ball out of the tote, and I'm going to bring it to my bicep. I'm going to make a fist, put it right into the crook of the elbow, and I'm going to squeeze. So I'm going to use my muscles of this right arm here to squeeze and make my Popeye muscle. I'll take a breath in, and as I exhale, I'm going to squeeze a little bit harder. Take another breath in, take my hand to the top of my forearm, and use my top hand to press the ball, and then release, exhale, release the fight of the right arm. Let the left arm do some of the work and maybe sink a little deeper into the tissue. From here, I will just supinate or twist my arm from side to side, working on my pronator teres muscle. Now the pronator teres is important because while we're typing, texting, gaming, all those wonderful things, our arms are in a pronated position, so they can get a little bit of overuse as well. From here, we're going to take the yoga tune-up balls and addressing the fascia of the forearm. So the fascia, when it's, there's a lot going on in the forearm. So we want to make sure that the fascia is nice and warm and the muscles are warm. So we're going to do a little skin rolling technique with our yoga tune-up therapy ball. And I do this by twisting, like pressing and giving a little corkscrew. Twist. Warming up the tissue. You may feel like a little bit of an Indian burn, so go ahead and create that little Indian burn. As you get closer to the wrist, though, you want to lessen your depth because it can be a contraindicated point because the carpal tunnels, all the tendons and whatnot come in through this carpal tunnel. And so we want to warm up the tissue there, but just be conscious of not to create more inflammation than needed. And I'll turn my arm over and work on the other side as well. And when that's nice and warmed up, then I'm going to go ahead and start to work on my flexors. Now the flexors all attach here to the medial epicondyle, which is the end of the humerus bone right here. And you can feel it's a bony protrusion right here on the inner elbow. And all these flexors attach to the medial epicondyle, and they run down the muscle bellies, and then they turn into tendons, and those tendons move into the hands. So we started out holding and wiggling, right? So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use the therapy ball. So we'll press. Take a breath, make sure you're breathing, breathe in, and as you exhale, begin to wiggle the fingers a bit and extend. I'm going to come to the edge of my desk here so that I can extend and flex, and you'll feel the muscles pressing into the ball as well, and you can move the fingers. From here, I'm going to take the ball to the ulna bone right here, the pinky side. We have those two forearm bones. I'm going to take it to the edge of the ulna, just about an inch or so below the medial epicondyle or the elbow. Again, I'll come up to give myself a little bit of pressure and hook the ball on the ulna, pronate my arm, and give a little extra pressure of my hand on my flexors. And from here, I give that little stripping motion. And then a little cross fiber, a little back and forth as well. All the while breathing, I can feel it's going clunk clunk over something. And know that I'm really working and making the muscles much more healthy. And I can even wiggle the fingers here as well. Good. From here, I take the ball to the top of my forearm where my extensors are. Again, I'll know this because if I extend my hand, I will feel the muscle bellies pushing into the ball. And just go ahead and create that cross fiber here. Again, make sure you're breathing. And you want to stay off of the tendons and into those muscle bellies, which you find by flexing and feeling the bellies of the muscles press into the ball. Good. And then this is a little tricky area, so I have a trick for here. We're going to make a sandwich. I'm going to place the ball just below the lateral epicondyle in those muscle bellies, right? You found where that is. And I'm going to bring the ball behind my back and sandwich it between my chair and the back. And then I can lean my back into the ball. And yes, I have found my extensors. And from here, I'll take a breath in. As I exhale, press my hand into the chair, maybe wiggle my fingers a little bit. And then exhale, relax, release, and let the body start to sink into the tissue. And I can take my hand too and press into my body as well. And go ahead and release that. Take the ball one more, give a little squeeze of the ball. Stand up, and I'm going to roll the ball from my fingers, each finger, down to the palm. And then I'm going to flip the hand, working on the extensors as well, making sure that my extensors, which tend to be weaker than my flexors, start to balance out. So there you have it. So we've addressed our fingers, our wrists. If you have tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, or a little hyperextension going on in the arms, whatever's happening there, hopefully we've helped take care of that. So thank you.